Welcome back to V.E.K.S, where history is made exciting. The Ionian Greeks, long ago, across the Aegean Sea, groups of adventurous Greeks sailed eastward in search of new land. By around 1050 BCE, they had settled along the coast of Asia Minor, in what is modern-day Turkey. That region would become known as Ionia. There, they built cities like Miletus, Ephesus, Smyrna, and Chios. These were independent Greek city-states, much like those in mainland Greece. They ruled themselves, spoke the Ionian dialect of Greek, worshipped the Olympian gods, and grew rich through trade. For centuries, the Ionian cities remained politically free, but that freedom would not last. Lydian domination. In the 7th century BCE, the inland kingdom of Lydia rose to power under kings like Gyges, Elates, and most famously, Croesus the Rich. He was so rich, in fact, that there was a saying, rich, as Croesus, making him a well-known and tempting target for their enemies. Lydia expanded westward and gradually brought the Ionian cities under its sway. Some Ionian Greek cities resisted, were defeated, and came under direct Lydian control. Others, like powerful Miletus, made diplomatic agreements, maintaining more of their independence, while the Ionians maintained their language, culture, and local governments. They were now forced to pay tribute to the Lydian kings. Their independence was limited. But Lydia's rule was relatively lenient and relaxed. The Persian conquest of Lydia and new Persian rulers in 546 BCE, the balance of power shifted again. Cyrus the Great of Persia invaded and conquered powerful Lydia, using ingenious tactics and trickery. With King Croesus defeated, the Ionian cities became part of the vast Persian Empire, and things changed. Cyrus was killed in battle, attempting to further expand his empire along their northeastern border. He was replaced briefly by his son Cambyses II. This new ruler defeated and annexed Egypt into the empire, but trouble in the homeland sent him heading back to deal with it. He never arrived. Much mystery and suspicion surround his death. It is thought that he was murdered by some of his own family, which is sometimes called parricide. A new name would rise, a distant relative of Cyrus, no son or grandson. Still, an Achaemenid family member, Darius I, would make a large mark on the Persian Empire. It was he who established a new system of governance within the empire. Persian administrators, known as satraps, established by Darius I, now oversaw all regions under Persian control. Now the Ionians were ruled by such strict governors. These satraps were seen as local tyrants, loyal to Persia, ruling Ionian cities. Discontent grew among the Ionians, who now answered to a distant king and had little say in their own affairs. The spark of revolt. In 499 BCE, Aristogoras of Miletus led a revolt against Persian rule. Hoping to break free from the empire, he persuaded other Ionian cities to join him. Aristogoras also appealed to Athens and Eretria for help. Both cities agreed, sending a small fleet of ships, 20 from Athens and 5 from Eretria, together with the Ionians. They launched a bold strike deep into Persian territory. The burning of Sardis, the rebel Greeks marched inland and attacked Sardis, the former Lydian capital and current Persian administrative center. They captured and burned much of the lower city, including the palace of the Persian satrap Artapernes. However, they could not take the citadel and Persian reinforcements. Forced them into a retreat. Though the attack failed to hold the city, the vast Persian Empire could not allow upstart factions to get away with such a challenge to its authority, lest it spread, leading to collapse. This incident enraged the great Persian king Darius I, and it set the empire on a course for revenge. The Battle of Ephesus, 498 BCE. As the Greek and Ionian forces retreated from Sardis, they marched back toward the coast. Outside the city of Ephesus, they were ambushed by a pursuing Persian force. The Greeks, exhausted and disorganized, were caught off guard. Better rested and well prepared, launched a swift and deadly attack. The Ionian lines struggled to hold. The Athenian forces, though brave, suffered heavy losses. Overwhelmed by Persian numbers and tactics, the Greeks were defeated. This battle marked a turning point. Athens, shaken by the outcome, withdrew from the conflict entirely. The Ionians were left to continue the revolt alone. However, the Persians never forgot Athenian involvement in what it saw as an insulting and angering betrayal. The collapse of the revolt. Over the next few years, the Persian Empire steadily crushed the rebellion. Cities were taken one by one. In 494 BCE, the Ionian navy gathered for one final stand at the Battle of Lade. Despite initial Greek strength, Persian bribery and threats led to disaster. Betrayal from within caused the Greek fleet to collapse. With no naval defense left, the city of Miletus, largest and most powerful of the Ionians, was besieged, captured, and completely destroyed. Its people were killed, enslaved, and deported to Mesopotamia and the Persian heartland. This kind of total annihilation of a city was rare in the ancient world, and very rare for the Persians. This was an act of anger, revenge, and an active threat to anyone else who had ideas of revolt within the Persian Empire. The destruction of Miletus sent shockwaves throughout the Greek world. This particular action likely shaped how the Greeks saw Persia for the remainder of their shared history. Distinctly negative. The Ionian revolt was over. Persian rule was re-established, and the coast of Asia Minor was firmly back under imperial control, the road to war with Greece. But the revolt had done more than anger Persia, it had awakened it. Darius I, later known as Darius the Great, never forgot the role Athens played in helping to burn Sardis. He considered it a personal insult and a challenge to Persian authority. Determined to punish Athens, Darius began planning a full-scale invasion of mainland Greece. Just a few years after the Ionian revolt ended, Persian forces sailed across the Aegean to attack. This invasion led to one of the most famous battles in ancient history, the Battle of Marathon in 490 BCE. Conclusion: the Ionian revolt began as a local struggle for freedom, but it quickly became something much bigger. It revealed the limits of Ionian unity, tested the strength of the Persian Empire, and drew Athens into a conflict that would define the future of the Greek world. From the ashes of Sardis and the fields outside Ephesus, the first sparks were lit, sparks that would lead to the Persian Wars and the defense of Greece itself. We hope you enjoyed this. We make these videos for you, our loyal viewers, incapable of revolt. As always, email and tell us what you would like us to make next. If you liked this video, ambush and encircle that subscribe button. Until next time,